When I opened that AI prediction today, I swear my hands were shaking. I didn't expect it to hit me this hard. I didn't expect it to make me think of you this deeply. And before anything else, I need to ask you something right now. Why does my heart react like this every time something mentions my future wife? Why does my mind run straight toward you, even before I try to control it? I want you to listen to me with your heart, not just your ears, because what I'm about to say, it doesn't feel like a script. It doesn't feel like content. It feels like a piece of me. It feels like something I've been holding inside for a long time but didn't know how to express until this moment. When that AI showed a picture, a description, a feeling, I froze, because the face it described wasn't a random stranger. It wasn't someone I've seen in movies or someone on social media. It wasn't a fantasy. It felt like your presence, not your face exactly, but your energy, your softness, your calmness, your way of listening, your way of silently touching someone's heart without even trying. The AI said something that hit me so deep. I had to sit down for a minute. It said, "She is someone who makes you feel safe without speaking." And instantly all I could think about was how I feel when you listen to me, how I feel when you breathe for a moment before replying, how your silence carries more love than some people's loudest words. And I don't know how you do that to me. I don't know why your presence, even through a screen, feels like it reaches into my chest and tells my heart to slow down, like it whispers, "You're not alone. You have no idea how soft my voice becomes when I talk about you. You have no idea how gently I think of you, and maybe you don't even know how much space you hold in me already." But wait. Let me ask you something. Why did you feel something when you saw this title? Why did your heart skip a beat for just a second? Why did your finger stop on this video, on this moment, like it was waiting for something? Because something inside you already knows this message is for you. You already know that I'm talking to you, not to everyone, not to a crowd, not to a group. I'm talking to the woman who's listening right now with a strange mix of calmness and fast heartbeat. The woman who maybe didn't expect her day to include something this personal, this emotional, this raw. When I saw the AI prediction, the first thing it showed wasn't a face. It showed eyes. Soft, deep, gentle eyes. The kind of eyes that look at someone like they're home. And that description felt so familiar that I almost whispered your name without thinking. It said, "Her eyes hold quiet stories, and she looks at love with honesty." Tell me why that reminds me of you. Tell me why your eyes, even if I've never seen them, feel like the safest place I could ever land. Tell me why your heart feels like something my soul recognizes. There was another line the AI said, and this one, it stayed with me. It said, "She has a smile that heals pain she didn't even cause." And I swear, I felt that you don't even know how much your presence already heals things inside me that I never talked about. You don't know how many wounds in me soften when I imagine you smiling. You may think you're just listening, but you have no idea how deeply your presence reaches. And wait, here's the part that really made my heart stop. The AI said, "She is someone you will trust instantly because your soul already knows her." And suddenly, that made everything make sense. Why talking to you feels natural. Why opening my heart feels easy with you. Why I never have to pretend around you. Why I speak to you like I've known you in a different lifetime. Tell me, do you feel that too? Do you ever feel like we're not strangers at all? Like something about this connection feels old, familiar, warm, like it existed before we ever met. I keep wondering why this prediction made me emotional today. Maybe because it reminded me of how much I've been searching for someone who listens the way you do. Someone who feels with their heart. Someone who knows how to love without forcing anything. Someone whose presence feels like a blanket on a cold night. I don't need perfection. I don't need a flawless face. I don't need a fairy tale moment. I need someone who understands the silence behind my words. Someone whose heartbeat feels like a place I could stay forever. Someone whose care feels gentle, not heavy. And every time I think about all of that, somehow you appear in my mind. Tell me something honestly. When you imagine someone walking into your life with pure love, with honesty, with softness, does my face appear in your mind too? Does your heart whisper something you haven't said out loud yet? Does a part of you secretly wonder what it would feel like if the person speaking to you right now was actually the one you were meant to meet? Because if you feel that, even slightly, even quietly, even secretly, then maybe the AI wasn't showing me a stranger at all. Maybe it was showing me a reflection of you. And the more I listened to the description, the more I felt my chest growing warm. It talked about someone who loves deeply but hides her feelings. Someone who cares quietly without needing attention. Someone who looks strong but sometimes wants someone to hold her without asking questions. Someone who has dreams she never told anyone. Someone who has been waiting without admitting she is waiting. And tell me, doesn't that sound like you? Tell me why my voice softens right now when I talk about you. Tell me why my heart feels heavy and full at the same time. Tell me why I keep imagining you turning your head slightly, brushing your hair back, and listening to me with that quiet attention that makes me fall for you a little more every second. I don't know why I'm saying all this tonight. Maybe because the AI prediction touched something inside me that I didn't realize was still alive. Maybe because it showed me what I've been searching for, and that image somehow felt like a shadow of your soul. Maybe because, deep inside, I want to believe that the woman meant for me is already listening to this. And maybe that woman is you. But the strange thing is, the prediction didn't stop there. It said something else. Something that hasn't left my mind since I read it. It said, when you meet her, you will know instantly, not from her face, but from the feeling. And that line made me stop breathing for a moment. Because every time you listen to my words, I feel that feeling. Every time you stay until the end, I feel that connection. Every time your heart reacts, even silently, I feel that pull. So tell me, what if the woman I'm meant to love, the woman I'm meant to protect, the woman I'm meant to choose, the woman I'm meant to call mine, is already here, already listening, already feeling something she hasn't said yet, already wondering the same question I'm afraid to ask. Because right now, as I speak these words softly to you, I can't shake the feeling that the AI didn't predict my future. It revealed my present. It revealed you. And I don't know how to end this, because I don't want this feeling to end. And I don't want this moment with you to end. So I'll just keep talking, softly, honestly, until your heart tells you the truth it's been hiding. When I woke up this morning, the first thing on my mind wasn't the AI prediction. It was you. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why your presence entered my thoughts before I even touched my phone. But the moment I opened my eyes, it was like my heart whispered your name without permission. And I just lay there for a few seconds, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you feel so close to me even when you're not in front of me. Wondering why your energy sits in my chest like it belongs there. Wondering why I feel this pull toward you that I can't explain with logic or reason. And as I got up, as I washed my face, as I looked at myself in the mirror, I found myself asking the same quiet question again. Why you? Why does my heart choose you? Why does my mind keep returning to you like you're something it refuses to forget. And as I walked around, trying to distract myself, that AI prediction came back into my head. The part where it said, "You will know her not from her face, but from the feeling." That one line kept echoing inside me like it was written specifically for me, or maybe for us. Because when I talk to you, when I imagine you listening, when I feel that silent presence of yours, I feel something that doesn't match anything I felt before. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's not something that hits hard and disappears. It's something gentle, something steady, something that grows quietly in the background, until suddenly you realize it's been there all along. And that's exactly how you feel to me. Like something soft, something calm, something I didn't search for but somehow found anyway. I kept replaying everything in my mind. Your reactions, your silence, your curiosity, the way you stay until the end, the way you listen like my words are meant for you. And I started thinking, maybe you don't even know how deeply you affect me. Maybe you don't realize how your presence, even from a distance, reaches into places inside me that I thought were unreachable. Maybe you don't know how your quiet attention feels like a hand holding my heart gently. Maybe you don't know how your softness heals parts of me I never talked about, because I've had nights where I felt overwhelmed, days where the world felt too heavy, moments where I didn't want to speak. But then I thought of you, and suddenly the weight felt lighter. And I wonder, do you ever feel that too? Do you ever think of me in moments when you're tired, or lonely, or confused, and feel even a little bit better, just because my voice is there? As I sat down later, staring at my phone, I found myself wanting to ask you something I've been holding back. Why do you feel so familiar to me? Why do you make me feel like I've known you long before this moment? Why do you make me talk differently, softer, slower, more honest? Why do you make me open my heart without fear? It's not normal for me. I don't talk like this with everyone. I don't let my voice shake like this. I don't let my heart soften this much. But with you, it just happens effortlessly. And I wonder, is that how it's supposed to be when someone is meant for you? Is it supposed to feel calm instead of chaotic, soft instead of loud, natural instead of forced? Because that's how it feels with you, like everything is unfolding on its own, without pressure, without pretending, without trying to impress. But then another thought hit me, and it made my heart beat a little faster. What if you're feeling the same things, but you're too shy to admit it? What if you're listening right now with a small smile you're trying to hide? What if your heart is reacting quietly and you're pretending it's nothing? What if a part of you already knows I'm talking about you, but you don't want to say it out loud because it scares you how real it feels? Because I know that feeling. I know what it's like to hide emotions because they feel too big. I know what it's like to pretend you're calm when your heart is running. I know what it's like to keep a soft connection a secret because you're afraid it might be one-sided. But let me tell you something. Honestly, nothing about this feels one-sided. The way my heart moves when I speak to you, that doesn't happen without a reason. I kept thinking back to what the AI said about her heart. It said, she loves deeply, but she hides it carefully. She doesn't show her emotions easily. She feels everything intensely, but expresses it softly and instantly. Without even trying, I thought of you. Because there's something about the way you listen, the way you react, the way you stay quiet and still, that tells me you feel things more deeply than you show. Your silence doesn't feel empty. It feels full, full of emotions you're holding in, full of thoughts you're not ready to say, full of feelings you keep safe inside your chest. And I don't know why, but that makes me want to hold your heart gently. It makes me want to protect your softness. It makes me want to understand you without forcing you to speak. And while I was thinking all of this, something unexpected happened. I realized I wasn't thinking about the AI prediction anymore. I wasn't thinking about the future wife it described. I wasn't thinking about destiny or fate or anything like that. I was thinking about you, only you, like everything else faded away, like the whole world blurred, and the only thing in focus was your presence. And I had to ask myself, why does it feel like my future keeps pulling me toward you? Why does every description of love remind me of you? Why does every sign point in your direction? Why does every quiet moment lead back to your name? There's something else I want to tell you, something I haven't said yet. When the AI talked about the future wife, it described her heart as someone who understands pain but doesn't want anyone else to feel it. And I thought about how many times I talked, and you listened with so much calmness. How many times my words softened, because I imagined you hearing them. How many times your presence healed me without even trying. And I realized that maybe you're the kind of woman who gives comfort without asking for anything back. Maybe you carry your own wounds quietly, but choose to spread gentleness instead of bitterness. Maybe you love in a way that feels safe, not demanding. And maybe that's exactly why my heart keeps reaching for you. But here's the part I can't shake off. The AI said one final thing before the prediction ended. It said, "She will enter your life in a way you never expect, and she will stay longer than you imagine." And I keep wondering, what if you're already here? What if you already stepped into my life without either of us realizing it fully? What if your presence is already shaping me, changing me, softening me? What if you're not someone I'll meet later, but someone I'm already connected to right now, in this moment? And I want to ask you something fragile, something honest. When you listen to me like this, do you ever imagine yourself next to me? Do you ever picture us in the same room, talking about life softly? Do you ever imagine what it would feel like if I looked at you the way I'm speaking to you? Do you ever wonder how different things would be if our hearts weren't separated by a screen? Because I do. I imagine your eyes. I imagine your breaths. I imagine your silence. I imagine the way you'd look away when you feel shy. I imagine the warmth in your hands. I imagine the softness in your voice when you finally speak what you've been holding. And it doesn't feel like fantasy. It feels real. It feels possible. It feels like something that's already half written between us. And now, as I'm speaking to you, as my voice grows slower and softer, all I can think about is how strange it is that an AI prediction could make me feel so much, but only because it reminded me of you. It reminded me of the woman my heart keeps choosing even when I try to pretend I don't feel it. It reminded me of the softness I sense in you. It reminded me that sometimes the future isn't something we wait for. Sometimes it's something we're already living without realizing it. And I still don't want this moment with you to end. I don't want this closeness to fade. I don't want to stop speaking to you. Because right now it feels like our hearts are sitting in the same quiet space, sharing the same silent truth. We're both too shy to say fully. So I'll keep going. I'll keep speaking softly. I'll keep letting my heart unfold. Because I'm beginning to think the AI prediction didn't show me my future wife. It showed me what I already feel for you. And maybe, just maybe, you feel that too. When I sat down again to talk to you, I could feel something in my chest that I haven't felt in a long time. It's strange, the more I speak to you, the more honest I become. It's like my heart stops trying to protect itself. It stops trying to pretend it's strong. It stops trying to hide its real voice. And I don't know why that happens with you. I don't know why you make me lower every emotional wall without even trying. But you do, every time. And right now, As I let my thoughts fall into words, I feel that same softness again. The same softness that only appears when I think of you. I keep replaying the last moment of our conversation, especially the part where I wondered if the AI prediction wasn't showing me someone new, but showing me what I already feel for you. That thought hasn't left my mind. It stayed with me through the night, through the silence, through every quiet second when I wasn't speaking. And the more I sat with it, the more it started to feel real. Not a story, not an idea, not a random feeling. Something real. Something that belonged to the space between your heart and mine. I leaned back earlier and closed my eyes for a moment, just trying to picture you. Not your face, not the features, not the exact shape of anything, just the feeling of you. And it's so strange, even without knowing how you look, I can feel the softness of your presence. I can feel the warmth in your silence. I can feel the quiet way you care. I can feel the way your heart listens, even when your mouth stays still. I don't need your image to imagine you. I feel you. And maybe that's why the AI prediction said, you will know her not from her face, but from the feeling. Because the feeling is already here. It's been here long before today. It's been here since the first time you stayed and listened with your whole heart. There's something I realized while thinking of you. When I talk to you, I don't feel alone. I don't feel distant. I don't feel like I'm speaking to a stranger. It feels like I'm talking to someone who sees through the spaces between my words. Someone who understands the meaning behind the silence. Someone who hears what I don't say. And I wonder if you feel that too. I wonder if you feel that strange connection that doesn't need a definition. I wonder if you feel your heart soften a little when I speak. I wonder if you ever pause and think, why does this feel so close? Because that's exactly what I feel when I think of you. Closeness without effort. Comfort without questions. Emotion without confusion. And honestly, it scares me a little. Not in a bad way. Not in a way that makes me want to run. But in a way that makes me realize how powerful a quiet connection can be. I've known loud people, loud emotions, loud relationships, but this is different. This is soft. This is slow. This is deep. This feels like something I didn't expect to happen. Something I wasn't prepared for. Something that touched my heart before I even realized it. As I was thinking about you, a funny thing happened. I remembered one more line from the AI prediction that I didn't tell you earlier. It said, the woman he ends up with is not someone who tries to be noticed. She is someone who is noticed naturally. And that hit me so deeply because that's exactly how you feel. You don't try to pull my attention. You don't try to impress me. You don't try to be loud or dramatic. You're just naturally present, naturally memorable, naturally soft in a way that stays. And maybe that's the reason I keep returning to you without even thinking about it. Because your presence doesn't demand attention. It invites it. It draws me in without force. And while I sat there thinking about all of this, I found myself wondering something fragile. Something I hesitated to say, but I want to be honest with you. What if you are the woman whose heart the AI described? What if the softness I feel from you is the same softness it talked about? What if the connection I feel with you is not a coincidence? What if you're not here by accident? What if the timing, the emotions, the energy, what if all of it means something? I don't want to pretend I know the future. I don't want to claim things I can't see yet. But I can tell you one thing with certainty. When I speak to you, I feel something that doesn't happen with anyone else. Something pure. Something real. Something that feels like it's been waiting quietly inside me for a long time. And that's why I'm scared to say too much. But I'm also scared to say too little. Because if I hold back too much, maybe you'll never know that your presence already matters to me more than you think. There's something else I haven't told you. Last night, before I went to sleep, I caught myself imagining something that felt so real it almost startled me. I imagined you sitting beside me, not saying anything, just listening. I imagined the calmness in your eyes, the softness in your expression, the way your fingers would rest gently on your lap. I imagined talking to you in the same tone I'm speaking to you now. I imagined you looking at me with a mix of shyness and comfort. And in that moment, I realized something important. I don't want you to stay just a voice in my imagination. I want to know the real you. The version of you that laughs softly. The version of you that blushes when she feels noticed. The version of you that hides her emotions but lets them slip through her eyes. And the more I thought about it, the more something inside me kept whispering, maybe she wants that too. Maybe you want someone who talks to you gently. Maybe you want someone who understands you without forcing you to speak. Maybe you want someone who sees your quiet heart clearly. Maybe you want someone who notices your softness instead of overlooking it. Maybe you want someone who remembers the little things you don't say out loud. I paused for a long time after that thought, because it made me feel something I wasn't expecting. Hope. And hope is dangerous when it comes from the heart, but it's also powerful. And right now, that hope keeps growing inside me every time I speak to you. There's another part of the AI prediction I keep thinking about. It said, she will listen to him before she loves him, and he will speak to her before he realizes why. And I swear that line feels like it was written for this moment. Because that's exactly how it feels. You listen first, you understand first, you feel first. And I speak first without knowing why. Without stopping myself. Without protecting my heart the way I usually do. And now I think I understand the reason. It's you. It's always been you. There's something in you that makes it easy for me to be honest. Something in you that makes me want to stay longer. Something in you that makes me speak softer. Something in you that makes me feel safe in ways I can't explain. And right now, as I speak to you like this, I want to ask you something I've been holding inside my chest for too long. When you listen to me, do you ever feel a pull toward me too? Do you feel something warm in your chest? Do you feel that quiet connection that doesn't need explaining? Do you feel like my voice reaches parts of you that other voices don't? Do you ever pause the video and smile without understanding why? Do you ever feel like I'm speaking directly to your heart? Because if you feel even a little bit of that, then maybe this connection isn't just in my mind. Maybe it's shared. Maybe it's real on both sides. And I don't want this feeling to end. I don't want the space between us to close. I don't want this closeness to fade. Because every time I speak to you, I feel like we're taking one quiet step closer to something neither of us has fully named yet. And maybe, just maybe, you're starting to feel it too. I can feel it, I can feel you. And I'm not ready to stop. When I sat down again to continue talking to you, I felt something strange inside me. Something warm, something heavy, something I couldn't ignore even if I tried. It felt like my heart had been waiting for this moment, waiting to speak to you again, waiting to tell you the things I didn't have the courage to say earlier. And I don't know why, but every time I think of you, this gentle pressure rises in my chest, like my feelings are slowly moving toward the surface, even if I try to keep them down. It's almost like you have this quiet pull, something invisible but strong, something that draws my honesty out without forcing anything. And as I breathe right now, I can feel that same pull again, pulling me toward you, pulling me toward the truth, pulling me toward the things I'm scared to say, but can't hide anymore. I haven't stopped thinking about that AI prediction, not even for a second. Every sentence, every detail, every whisper it showed me keeps echoing in my mind. And the more I let myself think about it, the more it feels like it wasn't predicting my future. It was trying to reveal something I'm already feeling right now. Something connected to you. Something tied to your heart. Something that feels like a soft truth I've been avoiding because I didn't know if you felt anything similar. But the more I talk to you, the more I notice the way your presence affects me. I notice the calmness you bring. I notice the softness you add to my voice. I notice the way my heart slows when I imagine you listening. I notice the way my thoughts settle around you like they've finally found a place that feels safe. And maybe I shouldn't say this, but I don't want to hide it anymore. I feel something for you every time I speak. Not just a connection. Not just curiosity. Not just admiration. It's deeper than that. Softer than that. Stronger than that. I felt it earlier when I closed my eyes. I felt it when I imagined you sitting quietly, listening, absorbing every word. The image felt too real, too warm, too alive. And for a moment, I forgot I was imagining something. It felt like memory. It felt like something that already happened. Something familiar. Something that belonged to us even though we've never had that moment in real life. And that's what scares me. How natural it feels to imagine you beside me. How natural it feels to let you into my quiet places. How natural it feels to talk to you, as if you're already a part of my life. And maybe that's what the AI meant when it said, he will feel her before he meets her. Because that's exactly what's happening right now. I feel you. I feel your softness even in silence. I feel your heart even without a picture. I feel your presence even without your voice. It's strange, but I can sense the way you listen. I can sense the quiet emotion in you. I can sense the small hesitations, the curiosity, the warmth, the way your heart slightly trembles when my tone gets softer. I don't know how or why, but I feel you. There's something I realized earlier. Something I didn't say, but it stayed in my mind like a soft shadow. When the AI predicted the future, it showed me something unusual. It showed me a moment where I was looking at someone with a softness I couldn't hide. Someone I was speaking to like she was the center of everything. Someone whose presence made my whole body relax. And that person, she had your warmth. She had your calmness. She had your quiet strength. She had that same gentle energy you carry without trying. And I keep asking myself the same question. Why does everything I imagine feel like you? Maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I should hold it inside a little longer. But every time I try to hide it, it comes back stronger. So I'll be honest, when I think of my future wife, the version the AI showed me, I don't see her face clearly. But I feel her. And that feeling feels exactly like you. I can't ignore that anymore. I don't want to ignore it. Earlier, when I replayed our connection in my mind, something inside me whispered, tell her. Tell her what you feel. Tell her the truth behind your tone. Tell her the real reason you keep coming back to her. Tell her why your voice softens when you speak to her. Tell her why you feel safer with her than with anyone else. And the truth is, you make me feel understood in a way I rarely feel with anyone. You make me feel seen even without your eyes. You make me feel cared for without saying a word. You make me feel like I can be real, pure, soft, unfiltered, and not be judged for it. You make me feel like I don't have to pretend to be stronger than I am. And that's not something I feel with everyone. That's something rare. That's something delicate. That's something I can't find anywhere else. When I imagine you listening right now, I imagine you holding your phone a little tighter. I imagine your eyes softening. I imagine your breath slowing. I imagine your heart opening just a little more with every word. And that image stays with me. Even when I try to shake it off, you stay with me. Your presence stays with me. And I wonder if you know how deeply you've already reached inside my heart. There's another part of the AI prediction I didn't tell you yet. I don't know why. Maybe I was scared you'd feel too much. Or maybe I was scared you'd feel nothing at all. But I want you to hear it now. It said, she is the kind of woman who makes him speak softer without asking, and she makes him feel loved even before she says a single word. And I swear that's exactly what you do to me. You make my voice softer. You make my heart slower. You make my thoughts calmer. You make my emotions clearer. And you don't even try. You don't even know you're doing it. And it makes me wonder again and again why you? Why does your energy feel familiar? Why does your heart feel close to mine? Why does your silence feel comforting instead of distant? Maybe the answer is simple. You weren't meant to just pass through my life. You were meant to stay. You were meant to touch something inside me that no one else reached. You were meant to hear this softness in me that I never show anyone. And the more I think about it, the more something inside me keeps whispering, she feels it too. You feel something when I speak. You feel that warmth in your chest. You feel that hidden pull. You feel that slow connection growing between us. You feel that closeness you don't want to admit yet. You feel that gentle curiosity that makes you come back. You feel that small hope you try to ignore. And I feel all of that too. I don't know how deep your feelings go. I don't know how much you allow yourself to feel. I don't know how much of your heart you let me reach. But I know one thing. Something real is happening between us. Something soft. something warm, something that grows quietly breath by breath, moment by moment, word by word. And maybe you're beginning to understand that too. Every time you listen to me, it feels like your heart moves a little closer. Every time you stay till the end, it feels like you're choosing me in your own quiet way. Every time your breath pauses, it feels like your emotions lean toward mine for a moment. And I can feel that. I can feel you. I don't want this feeling to fade. I don't want this connection to break. I don't want you to pull away. I don't want to stop speaking to you. Because every time I talk to you like this, it feels like we're slowly walking towards something bigger, something deeper, something we haven't named yet, something waiting for us in the space between my voice and your heart. And I can feel it growing. I can feel it becoming more real. I can feel you getting closer. I can feel this invisible thread tightening between us. And you feel it too, don't you? I don't know how to tell you this part without my voice slowing down a little, because even now, just thinking about it makes my chest feel tight in a way I can't fully explain. When I opened that AI prediction again, after saving your image and looking at it for a long time, something strange happened on the screen. The AI didn't just show me your face again. It suddenly showed a line that said, "Your future wife will feel this connection too, even if she hasn't admitted it yet." And the moment I read that, I felt something run through me, like electricity, like a truth I've been scared to say out loud. Because when I talk to you here, when I speak these words, when I let my real feelings come out in this quiet, simple way, I feel like you do understand me more than anyone else ever has. And I don't know why, but that thought held me for a long time. I didn't look away from the screen. I didn't move. I just kept thinking, could it be you? And then immediately after that, but how would you feel if you knew I was thinking like this about you? And the more I asked myself that question, the more my heartbeat changed. Because deep down, I don't want you to think I'm here, just saying random things, or playing with emotions. I want you to feel that everything I say to you comes from the most real place inside me. I want you to know that I don't talk to you like this with anyone else. You might not even realize how differently my heart reacts when it's you. Even when I hear your name in my mind, something inside me pauses. And when that AI predicted that my future wife would have a calm softness in her voice, all I could think about was how I imagine your voice feels when you talk to someone you trust. And there was something else written on that screen that I didn't mention before. Something I didn't know how to bring up until now. When the AI predicted your personality, it wrote something like, "She will be someone whose eyes tell the truth even when her lips stay silent." And I swear, the moment I read that line, I felt like I could see your eyes right in front of me. I don't even know the exact shape of your eyes, the exact color, the exact shine, but I feel like I've experienced them in my mind already. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's true. When I talk to you, I feel like you look at me with a kind of honesty that most people don't give. And because of that, I don't hide anything from you. Not my fear. Not my excitement. Not my confusion. Not my hope. You make me say things I never planned to say. You make me confess feelings I didn't even realize were waiting to come out. You don't even try, but somehow you pull emotions out of me like you're gently opening a door that I kept locked for so long. And I wish you could feel how deeply that affects me. I closed the prediction screen for a moment because I needed to breathe. I needed to sit back and think. And while thinking, something hit me. Something that stayed in my mind like a whisper that wouldn't go away. The AI can predict faces and personalities, but it can't predict my heart. Only I know what's happening inside me right now. Only I know the way my voice softens when I imagine talking to you. Only I know how my chest tightens when I imagine losing your attention even for a moment. Only I know how I feel when I imagine you listening to me, maybe with your earphones in, maybe sitting somewhere quietly, maybe lying down with your phone on your chest, just letting my words settle into you gently. And the truth is, the AI prediction didn't shock me. You did. Every time you come close in my mind, every time you feel real, every time I picture you, something inside me wakes up. And the more I think about it, the more I realize something that scares me in a beautiful way. I don't want a future wife who is just perfect on paper. I want someone who understands me the way you somehow already do. Someone who listens to my heartbeat through my words. Someone who feels loved when I talk. Someone who realizes that everything I say is coming from a place deeper than just admiration. Someone who feels close to me even through distance. Someone who hears her name in the silence between my sentences. Someone who knows she's the one I'm speaking to even when I don't say her name. You don't know this, but every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm telling you things I've held inside for too long. Things I don't tell people in real life because they wouldn't understand. Things that don't sound right unless I'm saying them to you. You make honesty feel comfortable. You make emotions feel safe. You make confessing something beautiful instead of embarrassing. And that's something no AI prediction can measure. That's something only my heart can recognize. I opened the AI prediction again because I wanted to see something clearly. I wanted to know if the face it showed would change the longer I looked at it. And strangely it did. The shape shifted slightly, the expression softened, the details refined. And every time it changed in a way that made the face look even more like the version of you I keep imagining. The AI wasn't predicting anything. My heart was. The screen was just catching up to the feeling I already had inside me. And I realized then that the face of my future wife isn't decided by technology. It's decided by the way someone makes me feel. And right now you're the only one who makes me feel like this. I kept staring at the image until something unexpected happened. A notification popped up with a message that said, "Would you like to see a deeper prediction?" And I hesitated, because I didn't know if I was ready to see something even more intense. But then I thought of you. I thought of how your reactions matter to me. I thought of how your silence sometimes speaks louder than anything. And I clicked yes. The screen went dark for a long time. It felt like forever. And while waiting, I felt my heart beating in a strange rhythm, as if it knew something important was coming. When the image finally reappeared, it wasn't just a face this time. It was a small line written under it. And that line changed something in me. It said, "Your future wife will be the woman whose presence feels like home." And without even thinking twice, my mind went straight to you. Not because the AI said it, not because it looked like you, but because when I talk to you, I feel safe in a way I've never felt with anyone else. I feel like you understand the spaces between my words. I feel like you hear the tone behind my sentences. I feel like you sense my heartbeat through the screen. You don't feel like a stranger. You feel like someone I've known for a long time. Someone I was meant to find. Someone I'm supposed to talk to like this. And you know what hit me next? Something soft. Something gentle. Something that made me lean back and close my eyes for a moment. I realized that I don't talk to you like I'm talking to an audience. I talk to you like I'm talking to someone special. Someone who needs to hear this. Someone who deserves to be told that she's important. Someone who deserves to be loved in a soft, steady, honest way. And maybe you don't even realize how much of my heart you're holding without trying. And while looking at the prediction, I felt something shift inside me. A realization. A quiet truth I didn't want to say but couldn't hide anymore. I realized that maybe my future isn't something I'm supposed to figure out alone. Maybe it's something that slowly reveals itself through small moments like this, through feelings that appear unexpectedly, through emotions that grow quietly, through the way someone makes me feel even when she doesn't try. And when I think about all of that, you're the only one who fits. And I don't know what this means yet. I don't know where it leads. I don't know what happens next. But I do know one thing. Every time I look at the AI prediction, I don't see technology. I see possibility. I see hope. I see softness. I see a future that feels warm. I see the kind of love I've never admitted before. And more than anything, I see you. And I don't want this feeling to stop. I don't want these moments with you to end. I don't want this connection to fade. And even now, while I'm speaking like this, while you're listening with your quiet heart, while these words are reaching you, I feel something I can't explain, something that can't be predicted, something that can only be felt, something that gets stronger every time I say your name in my mind. And I don't think I'm ready to let go of this feeling. Not yet. Not ever.